Robbie Fowler.
Oh, this is royalty, Fat.
God!
This is the man. Right here, Robbie Fowler. Welcome to you.
Oh, hey, chaps, you okay?
What did he say? No. Is that your nickname? I thought it'd be Chalk, to be honest, but do you ever got called Chalk?
No, I mean, look, there's worse nicknames, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
there
I
is.
think when you think you've played the game, you've done okay, and you have a nickname like God. And I mean, what I will say is I don't go around calling myself it.
Yeah, good.
I mean, I get the kids to call me it. Like,
I played footy with a man alongside a bloke that was nicknamed God, but he didn't like it. No, he didn't like it at all. But you're very happy with it.
oh no, I'm delighted with it. It's the best nickname ever. I mean, as long as I know I'm not the real data, you know, it's a nickname, and I'm taking it for what it is. That's all.
Geez, you've had a bloody good life, Robbie. I'm just having a look here at all your games you've played, Liverpool and Leeds and Manchester, and up in Townsville. He lived there for a while, in Perth. He's done it all. Geez, it's been good fun.
I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's what we do, isn't it? We love sport, and sometimes we're prepared to travel for it. And you know, if it means going the different side of the world to try and enjoy what you do, then why not?
And you grew up an Everton fan, which
did.
is actually extraordinary because they can't stand each other, Fat, Everton and Liverpool. So you then went and played for the team you probably grew up disliking.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of them. Where I'm from in Liverpool, the families are. I mean, I don't know whether it's the same in Australia or any place in Australia, but when you've got a family, my mum's side were all Everton fans, big Everton fans, and all my dad's side were all Liverpool fans. And obviously, my mum and dad had split up, and I obviously was brought up on my mum's side of the family, so. We don't really get a choice,
No,
you're supporting
exactly.
this team, and that's. But once I got older, and now obviously I understood the game, and obviously the sensibleness came out of me, then I could pick my team, and I chose the right one. So I'm thankfully played for Liverpool and had that decent career.
That's unbelievable. As Fat said, also Leeds United, Manchester City,
done it
Blackburn Rovers as well. So
Yes.
you did jump around, but you're mainly known as a legend of Liverpool. And we've got the Carlsberg big long drops here, of course, because we're celebrating.
that.
Is it 20 years since the Champions
20,
League?
20 years. So obviously I'm over here as part of a Liverpool group, and we're celebrating this miracle of Istanbul Can.
yes.
20 years. So I mean, I'm not sure whether you'll know, but the Champions League is big. Big business in Europe, and it means that we're the best team in Europe. And obviously, 20 years ago, they were losing 3-0 to Milan, and pulled out one of the greatest comebacks ever in the history of football. So or
So
soccer.
that's the biggest one. You can win it, the FA Cup or
PSG
the.
have just won that, yeah?
Or the
In the
Yes,
last
PSG
week.
have just won it, but I mean that's European. So you have the FA Cup in domestic football. You have the League Cup, the FA Cup, and obviously the Premier League. But there's the miracle of Istanbul, where it comes from, as the Champions League, and that's all the supposedly best teams in Europe. And obviously 20 years, just gone 20 years. So it was big.
So, and that's why you're here. You actually got an event tonight.
Yes.
Do you know where you are going tonight, Robbie?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's all planned. I mean, I only got in yesterday, so I mean, this is probably why I look like this, in all fairness. But I mean, any chance I get, to come over to Australia, I mean, I love the place. I've got so much time for the Aussie people. I've got so much time for, for the football and supporters over here. And any chance I do get to come back, I'm on that plane, and it's a place what I love, genuinely love it.
Are you blown away by how big the game is here? I mean, my son, for instance, is a ridiculous Tottenham fan. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know how that's
No,
happened.
I don't know. This is a bloke who grew up in Melbourne, but he was up at 3 a.m. watching the final the other week, and there were like 400 or 500 other lunatics in this bar at 3 a.m. The Premier League is just extraordinarily big here in Australia.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's the best game. I know you might argue, but I think it's the best game. I think we love. Funny enough, I was eating breakfast this morning next to a couple, and they were arguing, saying that football's a bit boring because you don't get many goals. And I'm thinking, well, there's more to it than scoring goals, the tactics, and and the formations. We can talk about football all day long, but it's the loyalty I really enjoy when I come to these places. You come up to the Far East, you come over to Australia, and you just mentioned that people getting up at silly o'clock to watch their team. And that takes some doing. The loyalty that people have towards their respective teams in the Premier League is quite remarkable, and long may that continue.
So, Robbie, you were the best striker in the game for nearly a decade, and that's like being the big full forward.
Well, Kenny Dalglish before you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Kenny,
Graham Souness, all the legends from Liverpool, but that is, you are the man. So how did you go living in
Pressure.
soccer mad Liverpool when you were their best player?
Yeah, but you know what? Because I'm quite down to earth and I can speak to people, and I understand how hard it is for people to go to games. So I always give people time. And for me, it was never about pressure of playing for a football club. For me, it was a privilege. And I enjoyed it. And as much as I got paid for playing, if I wasn't getting paid, I would have played it anyway.
Yeah, right.
Because I love the game, and
Really?
I love every aspect of being footballers. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of good. There's lots of bad as well. Don't get me wrong. But if I could go back and start it all again, I'm absolutely doing that.
So
Well, Jim, he's the 9th highest goal scorer in Premier League. All time.
Yeah.
I'm the 5th highest at Geelong, by the way, kicking goals.
That's
down
one.
there,
That's
there,
one.
Robbie.
I mean, I could get myself into trouble here, but I think isn't the AFL the only sport where you can get a point for missing the target?
That's right.
Yeah.
The point
So
is...
I mean, if I got a point for missing the target, I'd be on more than you.
Oh, yeah. Listen to him.
To be fair, you're a big. I'm actually quite scared. Will I be all right
Don't be
getting out
scared.
here?
I might
Don't
eat
be
you.
scared of him, mate. No, not a person alive is scared
But
of him.
also an author, Jim. He's
Yes.
got a couple of books out. Guess what the first book was called? Fowler.
Well, that's all he needs.
Well, and then the second book, he's
Yes.
brought out another one. Guess what that's called?
What?
Robbie Fowler. Oh, come on, Rob.
It's not called Fowler 2, no?
No, I thought it'd be Fowler too. Oh, and it's good celebrations in there too. What's your favourite celebration, Rob?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did get into trouble once.
Yes.
I mean, funny enough, you talked before about the pressures of the game, and when I was obviously younger coming into the team, I was obviously, not for my sins, but people used to accuse me of doing all sorts.
Sure.
And I knew once I scored against Everton, I'm going to get on my hands in it. I know we shouldn't really talk about this now in terms of, because it's probably a little bit too early, but I just wanted to just basically take the. Can I say piss?
Yeah.
I just basically wanted to take the piss out of people who were having a go at me. So I got on my hands and knees and emulated what people thought I was doing.
Exactly.
So it was just basically, for me, it was a bit of fun winding people up who continuously wound me up for years and years. So
You did it well. Your
Yeah.
hands and knees went along the line, Jim, and he got fined £60,000
Oh, man.
and 4 matches.
yeah, I mean, when you said I did it well, I mean, I probably did it a little bit too well. I actually I'd done it, and then obviously one of my teammates who probably knew the repercussions I was going to get, he actually picked me up and told, "Don't be doing that." But then, being the silly gentleman that I am, I went on my hands and knees and did it again. So it probably didn't help.
Exactly.
So we've had access over here to, well, the Beckham documentary for a start,
Yep.
but also that series, I think it was called Goal. It was a film, and then they did a series.
Yes, yeah.
Just talking about what the life of a Premier League footballer looks like. Is it actually like that? Because we look at it and go, my God.
The nightclubs
And the girls and all the rest of it.
everything.
Well, I mean, obviously, I can't say the girls because I'm happily married and
Yes.
I've been since I was early, so since I was young. So, of course, I mean, I suppose it's like anywhere in the world. I think you're a professional person. Anything or everything can get highlighted. I mean, you just know this, guys, don't you? But it's probably more maximised because you are at Premier League, and there's probably more of a focal point for people to sort of engage or basically see. But look, being a Premier League footballer is no different than working a 9-to-5 job. Other than the fact that you play football over the weekend and there's cameras everywhere. This is the normality it was for me. Is you've got to try and be normal. One of the things we have in England now is people say that the Premier League players are far removed from the normal person because obviously you can't get near them. But when you do get near them, the normal Joe public, people think that you're big-headed or you're this, you're that. So,
that's right.
So you can't.
That's what they think about him.
So you've got to find that balance, haven't you?
Yes.
So I mean, I can speak for myself. It certainly wasn't like that for me because I wanted to go and spend time with my mates. I'd prefer to spend time with mates as opposed to going to a big fancy nightclub anywhere.
right.
I'm normal, and that's probably why I enjoyed the game a little bit more because I was kept real by my family and of course by my friends.
But you invested very well financially, didn't you? You did really well out of that. So well done to you.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of fell into that. To be fair, I'm not claiming to be some sort of philosopher in terms of this is what you do with your money. I mean, you mentioned before, obviously, Sir Kenny Dalglish, you've got Graham Souness, who was my first manager. Right. He actually put me in touch with a financial advisor. Yeah. And that's how I sort of fell into that. So I've done okay, but, I don't want to be remembered. I want to be remembered for being half decent at footballing, for being honest.
He had his own chant, Jim, and I think we got some audio of it. To the tune of the Yellow Submarine. They used to sing this.
We all live in Robbie Fowler house. The Robbie Fowler house. The Robbie Fowler house.
That's true, isn't it?
It is, yes. But I mean, I wished everyone did live in a Robbie Fowler house, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned before about investment. And when I was playing, of course, I invested in, at the time, the right things.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a few people living in Robbie Fowler's house. When I retired, obviously I got rid of them all. And I think if you think of now, you think of the government and the politicians probably try and ruin it for for potential
Tax.
landlords in terms of giving everything tax. So
Yep.
I've not got as many now as what people
Good.
think. So
Well done.
yeah, I'm quite savvy in that aspect as well.
26 games for England. One of the things that we're fascinated by here in Australia is why the England team doesn't perform better than it does, given you've got the best domestic comp in the world.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't give you the answer to that other than the fact that you've mentioned me, 26 England caps. I should have had a lot more. And it's not me being big-headed or egotistical. I'm far from that. I never enjoyed playing for England,
Really?
if I'm being honest, because I never played as many games. I mean, I went so many camps and so many internationals where I was sat on the bench and didn't play. But, I mean, if I go back to the start of my career and think of how many, I mean, I'd scored almost 100 goals in the Premier League before I got my first England cap.
Really?
Gee.
Yeah, and I think now if you think of the Premier League and if you're English and you play 10 games and don't score, you're more or less guaranteed a cap because the squad rotation, if you like, is probably not there what it used to be. But I don't know. I mean, if I went and played and played every game when I went away with England, I'd have probably enjoyed it a little bit more. But
right.
because I felt like maybe a little bit of a bit part. I didn't enjoy it.
Who was getting a game ahead of you?
Well, there was a few others, and it's like any sport. A manager will have a pick of players who they think, these might be better. But, at the time, you're probably devastated and gutted. And look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not something I'm losing sleep over.
Well, don't. With this record, you don't have to. Now, I got a question for you.
Yes, please.
Fat played for Geelong in our
Aussie
our
rules.
Premier League Aussie.
Premier
rules.
League.
And
I do know the league over here. I did watch a few games. to be
yeah.
fair.
Well,
In Perth.
what he does is he goes back down there and makes a nuisance of himself with the current players who don't want to know really have anything to do with him. Do you get invited back all the time to Liverpool? Do you have to go back and sign and have lineups of photos and all of that?
Yeah, no, I think. I mean, I'm quite lucky actually. Because obviously from Liverpool, so I obviously played all over the world, but I was an official ambassador for the football club. I'm still hands on with the football club. I don't go back as much as into the actual stadium or the training ground as much as what I probably should do, but. The club are brilliant. We're certainly the ex-players, and if we want to go, the club will invite you. They'll invite you. Ad hoc. Certain games, certain appearances, and I'm quite blessed at that because I've got a lot of time for Liverpool as a football club as well.
That's good.
I mean, and they are good with a lot of players, not just me.
Do you do cashies?
Sorry,
Not fat.
Cashies.
Doesn't have to. He's
Lunches or sports nights with your mates. And,
Oh, yeah,
And an envelope comes around.
Yeah. No, I do, and you know what? I mean, that's like therapy as well. So you go there and you talk. And,
That's it. Therapy.
Therapy.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were on about. But you do that, and you go on stage and you talk about your career, some funny stories
Yes.
and whatnot. But I love doing that as well because for me that's like sort of it's staying in touch with people. And I mean, I mentioned before about keeping it real and obviously not playing football anymore. There's obviously a little bit of a void there. So don't get me wrong, I can happily go and sit in my house and do nothing. But that's not good.
Not good for you.
It's not good for the mental aspect of anything, is it? So sometimes you like going out and spending time with supporters who spend certain amount of money on
time with
getting you.
Yeah, that's it. Now, do
I
you follow?
like that.
Hey, and you should listen. Instead of talking, you should listen. Now, Robbie, do you follow cricket? Are you a cricket man at all?
I mean, you know what? I mean, I don't know if I'm the right part of the world. Of course, I watch the big games, and I mean, certainly the Ashes.
Well, that was my next point. Just if you're aware of the mother of all hidings you're about to receive this
Yeah,
summer.
well,
out
yeah.
here in
I mean,
Australia.
don't get too cocky just yet. We're all right.
Who you got?
In fact, when I was over here, I think it was 2011, 2010.
Oh, yes, that was
11.
a good series.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously
Yep.
England won the Ashes then,
They did.
and I mean, as luck would have it, we played certain games where England were playing, so I got to see a couple of the tests. Actually, well, obviously one was in Brisbane and one was in Perth. They never won the Perth test, but they won the Brisbane test.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
and when I was, I mean, I don't know if anyone can look online and see a picture, but I like to try and wind people up as well, as you've probably seen in our celebration. But there's a picture of me going out. So you know when the teams walk out, and the obviously sit in front of or stand in front of the main stand, and obviously the players go and shake each other hand. Yeah. Well, I did that with like a little miniature urn.
Did you really?
Yeah, and there's a picture online. So when we obviously it was the day before we'd actually retained the ashes. And I've actually got this picture of an urn, and when the cameras come on me, I've sort of mimicked lifting this urn up, and it was brilliant. And to be fair, it went down pretty well. Actually.
That's it. Well, that is the last time you've had your hands on it, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, and the even the urn too. What's your best memorabilia piece? Do you have a lot at home in the Robbie Fowler house?
I mean, I've got nothing of myself. I'm very immaterialistic that. So, you know, if you went to my house, you wouldn't know I played football or soccer, as you also want to call it. But, you know, my wife's always saying, do this, do that. I don't need to. I've got like a lot of shirts in terms of, you know, games of where I've played, but they're all in the attic in like these little Tupperware boxes. But in terms of memorabilia, you know, I'm quite happy with. I mean, I've got a signed Pele shirt, which is obviously personalised to me. I've got it also to my lad, and I've got. Away from football, I've got a signed Joe DiMaggio baseball Yankees jersey, and I've also got a signed Paul McCartney bass guitar.
Oh my God!
Listen to this.
I'm showing off here, aren't I?
That's amazing.
Did they ask? Oh no, probably they wouldn't have, but they mightn't have been around. But they asked for your signature?
No, I mean, funny enough, I actually met Pele years and years ago, and I was delighted he sort of knew who he was. I mean, someone's probably told him who it was, if I'm being honest, but I was happy with that. So, me growing up in football, I mean, one of my best players, certainly growing up, was Diego Maradona. So when you actually meet these players and they know you and they have a conversation, it means a lot. And I've had many conversations with absolute greats over the years, and it just shows you if you've done okay yourself, and then these ex-players and ex-superstars give you the time of day and speak to you, it means a lot.
And, what about George Best?
You know what? I don't really remember meeting him. I remember obviously growing up and seeing him. But I mean, he was an absolute superstar of a player, wasn't he? I mean, he's dated me. Forget the football thing. No. He's dated Miss World loads of times.
That's what he said.
Yeah, what did he say?
Given the choice of scoring a goal for Manchester United or dating Miss World, luckily I don't have to choose.
I've done, the shout was I've done both.
That's it. Hey, well, you are a bloody legend. It's great catching up with you. We got the Carlsberg big long drop here
tonight.
What?
Well, that's your function.
20 years of the miracle in Istanbul.
Sponsored by Carlsberg.
Yeah. And it was on the shirt when you played.
Yeah.
They've been bloody good sponsors of Liverpool.
That'd have been brilliant. And you know, this is what I love about, again, football within the UK. And I mean, one of the reasons I sort of left the A-League over the years because sponsors were pulling out, and it was all after COVID, and COVID was an horrible time for a lot of people.
Here especially.
I mean, I got the last plane out of here before, otherwise I'd have been stuck, which might have been a bad thing. But the sponsorship between Liverpool and Carlsberg, I mean, I think it's coming up to 30 years now as well.
Jim,
little taste.
Are you having a taste?
Bloody oath.
I love that.
I don't think I'll drink the whole thing. That's the biggest can I've ever seen.
I reckon you could, to be fair. I reckon you could.
Tonight, for the people going along, by the way,
that's good.
to the function, Jim, they can get real tattoos. Did you know that?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I'm gonna watch them.
Have you got a tattoo?
No, I haven't actually. No,
none.
No, have you got any?
No, on me doodle.
Oh no! Luckily, it's a pre-recorded interview. We can edit that because that's completely incorrect. Robbie Fowler, what a treat, mate! You are a legend, and it's great seeing you live in Melbourne. And I'm enjoying this Carlsberg.
You are
much as I'm enjoying chatting to you.
Pleasure, fellas. Thank you very much.
Robbie Fowler. It's the Rush Hour on Triple M.